Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. So today I'm gonna talk about some products that I'm just tired of brands releasing. I'm not saying that the brands aren't allowed to release these products, but it's just for me personally, I am just sick and tired of it. You don't have to agree with me, this is not fact. It's just my opinion, so it's not that serious, it's just a video idea. And I got inspiration from Puffin's wife that I saw do this, or Mel Thompson that she's now called. I keep forgetting, so I'm real sorry about that. Like, I'm so happy that you guys told me about her. I found her like 1 or 2 months ago. I think it was 2 months ago, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna subscribe and see, and then I was just like, I'm in love with her. So I'm gonna link her channel in my description box and also the video that she did. I think that she deserves 1 million subscribers. She's amazing and she is beautiful, so please go ahead and check her out. I quickly want to say as well that I did record this look. I did use the Revolution Emily Wants palette that looks like this. It's a palette I bought because of you guys, because you guys wanted me to review it. So your command is my law, your wishes is my command. If the video is up, this is the first look of my 3 looks with the palette. Then I'm gonna pop it right up here. If it's not, it's coming. So the first product that I am sick and tired of seeing brands release are metallic lipsticks or liquid lipsticks, anything that has to do with metallic. I have never ever been into that trend. Is it wrong to be in that trend? No. Is it ugly? No. Is it my personal preference? No. It's just not something that I enjoy on me. I can appreciate it from a distance, but it's just not something that I think that I look good in, and I just feel like that was so 2017 or something. Are people still obsessing over metallic lipsticks? I don't feel like they are. I feel like glosses is the new thing, like dewy lips or whatever. Like, I don't know, but I just don't really feel like people are that into it. I might be wrong, but it's, for me anyway, it's just not something that I want to see. It's not something that I want to purchase. It's not something that I want to wear. So I'm just like, brands, can you not? The next product is actually like 2 products in one. It's foundations, and no, I'm not saying that brands should stop coming out with foundations, but the type of foundations that they're coming out with. Every time I get excited about a foundation, it's either matte or full coverage. And if you're known to my channel, I don't like matte and I don't like full coverage. I like a dewy face, I like a dewy foundation. If it's full coverage, I can sheer it out. Like, I can always work with it. I can work with, like, today I'm wearing the waterproof foundation from Essence, but I have mixed in a lot of my LA Girl dewy foundation in it, which is amazing. But like, I cannot with all of these full coverage foundations. It feels like also a lot of times brand put full coverage on the actual foundation, but then when you buy it, it's not full coverage, and when you try it, it's not full coverage. It feels like they're only putting that on because it sells, because that's what all people want, but not everyone wants a full coverage foundation. It's not wrong to release a medium coverage foundation or a light coverage foundation. There's nothing wrong with that. And the same goes for dewy. I feel like everyone wants to look mad, and I'm here with my unpopular opinion about like looking dewy, and I'm just like, I want to look sweaty and greasy and oily. And I feel like that is such an unpopular opinion, but I think because I am getting a little bit older, I am getting some lines in my forehead, and I am scared of needles, so Botox is not an option. So I feel like when I'm looking dewy, you cannot see the lines in my forehead as much. Like, if I go in with powder and a matte foundation, it settles in it right away, but if I don't, it looks more beautiful. Like, I just love it. I feel like it looks mature but still youthful. I don't know. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is like uninspiring palettes. And I'm talking eyeshadow palettes. Like, yes, I get it. Uninspiring to me is something that is totally uninspiring to you. Like, I will feel like a palette is uninspiring, but you might not think so. But I'm just meaning, and I know that this is something that people hates to hear, but color story. But if we just take, okay, I'm gonna take two palettes that I love, and to show you guys, like, this is a rainbow palette, right? This isn't something that you take out and you're like immediately excited about, like, okay, I'm gonna do a green look because you only have two greens, or I'm gonna do a pink look and you only have a pink. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not something like that, don't get me wrong, I still love it. But then you have the Hasina 2 from Blush Tribe, and you pull this out and you're like immediately like, oh my freaking fucking lord, I'm gonna do something amazing with this. This gets me inspired. That one doesn't. That doesn't mean that I don't like the Viseart palette. I still love it. Just needing to be a little bit clear about that. But just like overall, I feel like so many palettes are coming out that's uninspiring. Like, for instance, the Natasha Denona Safari palette that came out. It's not my style, it's not my jam, but I get it. I get her vision behind it. I get it. Like, I can see people getting inspired by that palette, but it's not my thing. I'm not gonna purchase it, but I can understand it. The same thing with some neutral palettes from, for instance, KKW. I feel do really pretty warm tone neutral palettes, so I can understand that, and I can understand people getting inspired by that if that's their color scheme. But then we have like some other palettes that's coming out, and I'm just like, I'm just tired of it. And another thing that I'm so tired of is like all shimmer palettes. I don't see a lot of people using all shimmer palettes. I know I might be in the wrong here. I know that a lot of people purchase all shimmer palettes, but I'm just not one of them. I just don't understand why I should purchase an all shimmer palette, because a lot of the times I have all shimmer palettes and I honestly forget about them. I have purchased some all shimmer palettes in the past and I always forget about them. If I have a palette, like for instance today when I'm using this, I'm pulling this out and I'm just like, okay, what are we gonna do today? Then I'm immediately like, okay, I'm gonna use this red and then I'm gonna use some of the brown shades in here. I don't think about, like for instance, I used the gold today. I used the gold one right here. I don't think about, okay, I'm gonna pull out my all shimmer palette. Like, no, I forget about it. So I just use the palettes that I have. I'm just that kind of girl. I don't know. I'm just not, yeah. Another thing that I'm so tired of seeing is contour palettes. I feel like contour palettes came 2017. They did their thing, they had their 15 minutes of fame, and now they're done. If I go through my collection, I can probably find 5 contour palettes. Have I reached for them this month? No. Have I reached for them the past month? I don't think so. I think the last time I reached for one of my contour palettes was when I did the video with using all of my most expensive makeup that I can put right up here. Then I used my ABH contour kit. That's it. Like, I don't think that I used a bronze or a contour palette ever since. And the thing about contour palettes is that they are for makeup artists. For instance, if you are a working makeup artist, it might be a good thing for you to purchase a contour palette because you're not gonna work with your own skin all the time. You're gonna work with fair people and then medium skin people. Do you say that? Medium people with medium skin tone and then people with deep skin tone. You're gonna work with like on every shade range. Then a contour palette makes sense, but for me, a contour palette doesn't make sense, and I know for the typical person it just doesn't make sense. Another thing that I'm so tired of seeing is warm tone palettes. It doesn't matter if it's a warm toned palette with a pop of green or pop of blue or pop of purple, I don't care. But if it's a warm tone palette, I'm just done with it. I'm over it. It's been all around, like we all have a warm tone palettes in our collections. Okay, maybe not all of us, because I know that people hate it when you generalize, but if you are a makeup collector and a makeup lover, then you probably already have some typical warm tone brown shadows in your collection. However, I still feel like there is a market for a neutral palette or a cool tone palette. There is not a lot of cool tone palettes at the market. I know a lot of people think that there is a need for cool tone palettes. For instance, I know my mother, she hates warm tones eyeshadows. She loves cool tone browns, purples. Yes, there is a market for that. The same thing when ColourPop released their Fortune and Fame palette. They said that the Fame palette, I think it was going to be a cool tone palette, but in my opinion it wasn't a cool tone palette, it was a neutral palette, and I totally can understand why they released that, because there is a market for it. But the warm tones, no. I mean, how many palettes, how many warm tone palettes can the market have? I think that if you really wanted a warm tone palette, you probably have 3 of them. That was just some of the products that I'm just tired of brands releasing. I'm just tired of seeing them coming out all the time. Please let me know what you are sick and tired of seeing. As I said, we don't have to agree with each other. You might be you might be over the colorful highlights or the duochrome highlights or whatever. Like, I don't know, something that I'm really excited about. We don't have to agree, but we can still respect each other. That's the main thing. Anyway, that was all from me. As I said, please give me a like if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, please feel free to thumbs the video down. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!